Now, look, I've been creating content for about a year now, and it's all been short form up until pretty much recently. And along the way, I've realized some things, and I'm going to share with you the top 5 reasons why I believe you should stop making short form content, move into long form. And the last reason is actually the one that I was looking forward to the most, but ended up surprising me so much more than I thought it would. So stay to the end for that. Okay, so let's get into it. The very first reason that I believe they should stop making short form content, or at least why I want to stop making short form only content, is because I want to be remembered, which here's what I mean. Nobody pays attention or remembers anything about short form content. And I know this is true because I don't remember anything about short form content. I know for a fact that if I get stuck doom scrolling in the morning and I spend half an hour watching shorts, whether it's on YouTube shorts or Instagram reels or TikToks, whatever the format, I will not remember a single thing in an hour. That's just how it goes. You watch about, I don't know, 50 to 100 videos, depending how long you watch for. And it's just hard for your brain to remember anything from that because the moment that you see something that you don't like, you just skip over to the next. And then you do watch something that you like, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you're just on to the next video right away without a break, which is crazy. The amount of dopamine that our brains are being exposed to with short form content is actually wild. And because of that, it's hard to actually remember anything. So I actually want to be remembered. I want to create impact and I want to do something meaningful. I don't want to just create entertainment. So that's the top reason I believe that shorts are on the out, really. I mean, so here's the thing, they're not on the out. The thing about shorts is they can be a very good vehicle for discovery. But what I mean is only creating shorts without having something longer to point people to. And I personally think it's a better strategy to create something long form like this, and then you take short form videos out of it, cut it up, and then use that as a distribution channel to drive people to the long form thing that you're creating. So the second reason that I'm moving away from shorts is because I want to I don't want to limit myself with time. And I mean that in two different ways. The first way is I don't want to put a limit on my conversation. I think that whenever you do that to a conversation, you're actually just hurting it because if you don't give a conversation enough time and space, like if I walk up to you and tell you that, hey, we only have 5 minutes to talk, the conversation that we're going to have is going to be super limited. And I don't want to do that. I just want to have space and time to breathe and to talk and to express myself. And the second way is I don't want to limit the time that you can get with me because of some limit on time and format. So here's the thing. I know that for a fact, whenever you spend more time with people, that's when you form a stronger connection. I know that whenever I listen to podcasts and I spend 1 or 2 hours listening to whoever, I just feel, first off, I gave them permission to do that, which I think is the biggest difference between short form and long form is whenever you're watching short form, you don't really have permission. You just get videos served up to you and you decide in the first zero point 0.5 seconds whether you're going to watch it or not. It's funny, actually. I was on a train one time and I was watching someone's scrolling habits, and they were on TikTok and they were scrolling through videos, and it was the wildest Gen Z thing I've ever seen. I have no idea how this person's brain was able to process and choose what they wanted to watch, but this girl was wild. She would look at a video and by zero point 0.1 seconds, she would decide, is she watching this or is she skipping it or is she hearting it and sending it to a friend? And all of this is happening so fast. It was actually wild to see. But the truth is that's what our brains do. Some of ours faster than others apparently. But it's just a wild concept. And the point is that you don't have permission whenever you're watching short form content. But whenever you're making long form content and you click on a video, you are giving that creator permission and you're clicking on that thing with intention to watch. I've personally realized that I actually don't want to watch short form content. I feel like my brain is rotting when I'm doing it. So instead, I found myself gravitating towards long form content and even stuff that's a little more unedited, that's a little more raw and real. I think that in this age that we're moving into where all this content is fake and there's so much AI creating slop, I just don't want any part of that. Instead, I just want to create real authentic connections with people. And I don't want to even hide behind animations or titles or all these other things. Like I still understand you have to play the thumbnail and title game on YouTube. That's cool. I want to learn how to play that game and I want to know how to win. But I don't want to play the short form game. Instead, I just want to make content that's authentic and meaningful and that can actually connect with people. And I don't want to be limited on time, which that is the biggest difference between short form and long form is the amount of time. If you can spend, well, let's just say this. If I make a short form video and I want to spend an hour with you and you want to spend an hour with me, you would have to watch that 60-second video 60 times, which is wild. No one is doing that. But if I just create a 20-minute video or a 30-minute video or a 1 hour long podcast and you find it interesting, you can watch that and a lot more effortlessly spend 1 hour with me and get to know who I am, get to know my guest, and just watch what I've made. And the truth is, when you have more time spent, it creates a deeper connection, it creates more trust, but it also creates more money because you have more spots where you can run ads. So I just want to be transparent. That is part of the goal of this. I would love to do this for free, but I want to make this sustainable. And I think that long form is actually going to be where the money is in the future. I think that creating shorts is nice. Like I had Stanley on or Stashy on a few weeks ago, and we were talking about his content. And one of the things that I thought about after his episode was he's had a few reels that did super well. And I think that that's amazing, but I don't know how many clients something like that will get you. Instead, I think that if people spend an hour or two getting to know who you are and building trust in you, I believe that is a way better way to convert a client than to have them watch like a viral thing that you made that's super short. So anyways, time is one of the most important things, and that's what I want more of. So yeah. The third reason that I'm moving away from shorts is because I want to find a comfortable format for myself. Like creating content is amazing, but you have to find a format that you feel comfortable in. One thing about me is I've always enjoyed long and deep, meaningful conversations. And because of that, I think podcasting might be the best format for me. Not only is it something that I enjoy, but it's a lot easier to talk to other humans than it is to just sit here and talk to a camera. The funny thing is that whenever you're talking to another human, you're able to be more vulnerable. You're able to open up. You're able to talk about shared experiences. They might say something that just moves you or wakes something up inside of you, and you want to share something else with them. And I've had this happen in a few episodes that I've really enjoyed, just like being moved and stirred by the other person, and then in turn showing more of myself, or being vulnerable and sharing something about myself, and then getting something out of the other person that I honestly did not expect. So finding a format that you're comfortable with is super important. And I think that there's a lot of different things that you can try, and some of them are shorts. Like there are some short form formats that I want to try, but making the bulk of my content long form, I think is going to play out better for me because I think I'm just, like I said, I'm able to show more of who I am. So that's something I'm really excited about, and something that I would encourage you to do as well. The fourth reason that I want to start making long form content is because I want to build a personal brand. Now, I know that's like a woo-woo word for a lot of people, and there's a lot of different debates about what it means, but I'll tell you what it means for me. For me, creating a personal brand means creating deep and meaningful impact. That's the intention. I don't think that a personal brand means that you have a lot of social proof. I don't think it means that everybody knows who you are. I think having a personal brand means that people know what you stand for, and that's something that's really important to me. And I think that's doable in short form, but to really get to know who you are, again, you need to spend time with someone. And in order to create an impact, first you need to build up trust. And the best way to build up trust is just to spend time with people. And also, like I think that if I just made long form videos and I didn't talk about my values, instead I just talked about tips and tricks and did tutorials, I think that would actually not accomplish my goal of creating a personal brand. I think in order to create a personal brand, you actually have to help people and create some kind of meaningful and lasting impact. So that's one of the things that I really want to do with my content. And I'm not even ashamed to say it. It's something that I've been striving for a while. And I thought that maybe I could do that with short form. Actually, no. With short form, what I wanted to do was I wanted to build authority in the niche that I was in, which was tech. And maybe this is a whole separate video that I can make about creating content about what you're not passionate about, which is so funny to say because I've been passionate about tech for a long time. But the truth is, I am not so much anymore, which is just weird because I've grew up my whole life being like the tech dude. And now I really don't care about it. Like I think it's really cool. You can do a lot of cool things with it, but what I really care is about the human behind the tech, or like the person that's using it, or the business that um, needs help. Not necessarily the tech that can help them, but just like who is the human behind it. And to me, that's been so much more interesting to me. And this whole time I was creating content about tech, it just felt like I wasn't actually doing that. So instead of building industry specific credit or social proof, now I just want to talk about my values, what I believe, what I stand for, and how I believe I can help people. And that's kind of the goal of this podcast. It's called the Friendly City Podcast. And the goal is just to be friendly and share some of the stuff that I'm learning. And I've always felt like a bit of a imposter telling people that they need to create content and long form is the way, and I haven't done it myself. So instead of just telling people to trust me, I just want to do the thing that I'm talking about. And that's the whole goal of making long form videos for me, is just to run the play first and then share what I've learned with other people in a friendly way that is inviting and encouraging people. Because I truly do believe this is the future, and I'm happy to be doing it. Um, like I said before, with all this AI slop and other stuff that's coming out, I think the future is going to be people wanting authentic connection and building something that is built on trust and built on the human experience that we share, something that's a little more authentic. Oh, I've used that word so much. I hate it. I love it and I hate it. But, anyways, the last reason, the thing that really surprised me and the thing that I set out looking for in the first place was creating a deeper connection, which is like the whole reason I started this is because I knew that you could create a deeper connection with long form. But what I didn't know was how deep this was going to go. Like, I have been so moved by some of the comments that I've seen on my YouTube and from from people telling me how they've been moved. And these are just ways that I didn't expect to move people in. Honestly, like, I guess half the reason is I didn't know how good the conversation would be when I started having it with my guests, but I just I didn't think people would give me enough time or trust, or I don't know what, but I didn't expect how deeply I'd be able how deep of a connection I would have with people that are just watching that I don't know at all. It's just the craziest thing about long form and YouTube in general. Um, I guess the truth is that whenever you spend more time with someone, they're going to show you more of who they are. And the more that you see who someone is, the more they feel seen. And I feel so seen whenever I create long form content. I guess it's because I'm not putting on a facade or just pretending to be someone I'm not. Instead, I feel comfortable just being myself and talking about what I believe in. And yeah, I really didn't anticipate this connection being as deep as it came out to be. And the funny thing is, I see comments from people that I don't know talking about how this video has impacted them or how this conversation has moved them. And honestly, most of it, I just want to I want to give the glory to God, because I don't think that it's just me doing that. I think it's the way that God's lining things up, whether it's going to be the guests or whether it's going to be how he moves the conversation. To me, that's really important and something that I want to keep focusing on more. I've found that whenever I talk about just content, whenever I talk about just business, and I don't talk about my faith or my values or what I believe, it ends up feeling a little bit empty. And it's just kind of, I don't know, like I don't feel the need to shove my faith down everyone's throat and like put it in your face, but it's something that's super important to me. And the truth is, I feel a little bit empty whenever I don't talk about it. So to see other people resonating with what I'm talking about and what I believe, is it's honestly just been amazing. And the more that I put myself out there, the more seen I feel. And that's just a beautiful thing, I think. So yeah, those are my 5 reasons for moving away from short form content and moving into long form content. And I really hope that this can inspire you and motivate you to start, because sure, it can be a little bit difficult. It's a lot easier. And in fact, maybe I would recommend starting with creating some shorts, and some short form stuff I think can be good. But after you get comfortable like, so one of the things that when I started, I knew that, hey, if I can get someone's attention for 60 seconds and I can do that well, then I'll be able to do that in a longer form video. And I think partially that is true. I think it is still important to have a good hook. It still is important to have a layout, tell people what they can expect in this video. I think all that's important, but ultimately, I don't think it's sustainable to make only short form content in forever. I really think that if you want to have a deeper impact and you want to connect on a deeper level, I think long form is the way to go. So thank you so much for listening to this. If you enjoy this, please stick around. I'll have new episodes coming out every single week. Right now, I'm releasing them on Wednesday. I might move that to Thursday. We'll see. But yeah, I want to do more of this, and I don't want to only do interview guests on here. I don't only want to interview guests on here. I want to do solo episodes, and I just need to figure out like what is the right cadence. Like, should I do 3 interviews and then one just solo solo episode? I'm not sure. We'll see. But if you have any thoughts, if you have any ideas or comments for me, please let me know. And if you see this on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. This has been The Friendly City. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next week.